This breaking news is sponsored by Instaprint Grenada.
Good evening to the citizens of Grenada. As promised, we continue to provide you with timely updates as to our preparations for Hurricane Beryl. You've heard clearly from the Met Office that it is a dangerous Category 4 hurricane. The hurricane will impact all of Grenada, not just the northern part, and so it's important for us to appreciate that. It is already impacting Barbados, and we expect that it will impact all of the Windward Islands and possibly other islands as well. This afternoon, Her Excellency the Governor General issued a proclamation that declared a public emergency for the whole of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. In simple terms, it means a state of emergency has been declared. As a result of the declaration of this state of emergency, the following emergency powers will come into force effective as at 7 p.m. tonight, and they will expire at 6:59 p.m. on the 7th of July 2024. So first, let me repeat, the regulations governing the emergency powers are effective as of 7 p.m. tonight, and they will remain in force for at least 1 week and will expire at 6:59 p.m. on the 7th of July 2024. If, however, we do not suffer any major damage, or if by some miracle the storm misses Grenada, we naturally will end the state of emergency much earlier. At this time, however, there is no indication that Grenada will not bear the brunt of the effects of the storm, and so as a precautionary measure, the state of emergency will go in effect from tonight at 7 p.m. and remain for at least 7 days and will naturally expire at 6:59 p.m. on the 7th day of July 2024. The following restrictions therefore apply. Restriction 1, restriction on freedom of movement. As of today, the 30th of June 2024, and commencing at 7 p.m., persons will be subject to a curfew. That curfew will commence at 7 p.m. tonight and will end at 6:59 a.m. on the 2nd of July. Let me repeat, a national curfew is being imposed from 7 p.m. tonight and will expire on the 2nd of July at 6:59 a.m. unless further extended or unless brought to an earlier end. So there's a national curfew. You are expected to remain at home. You are expected to remain in your place of shelter if you are in a public shelter. No movement of persons will be tolerated. The following exceptions, however, may apply. And these exceptions are as follows: members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, members of His Majesty's Prison, that's the prison officers, members of the Department of Environmental Health Services, members of the waste disposal and sanitation companies, and when we say members here, we are referring to employees, employees and officers of the Airports Authority and the Grenada Ports Authority, employees of gas stations, employees of the government printery, and other essential officers who work with public utility companies, including water, electricity, electronic communication, and any persons who work in the electronic and/or print media. All workers who fall under these categories are expected to have their identification with them at all times, so that if they are stopped by the security services, they can be properly identified. I will go over the list of persons who are exempt for clarity from the curfew. Again, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force are exempt. Any employees who work with the hospital or in the healthcare, medical, residential care facilities. Officers of His Majesty's Prison. Officers and employees of the Department of Environmental Health and Services. Employees of any waste disposal and sanitation companies. Employees and officers of the Airports Authority and the Grenada Ports Authority. Employees who work at any gas stations, employees who work at the government printery, other employees of public utility companies, including water, electricity, electronic communication, or print and electronic media. And I'm repeating that all such workers should carry their personal identification with them. To be clear, the following are not permitted during the period of the emergency regulations, and these include all religious and educational places of instruction or worship shall remain closed in the first instance during the period of the curfew, and that is from 7 p.m. tonight until 6:59 a.m. on the 2nd of July. So, all government departments except those listed above are also closed, and all private businesses except those listed above will also be closed. The regulations provide for penal sanctions should someone not comply with them. The emergency powers are being put in place for public health, public safety, safety of the citizens of Grenada, and safety of our nation. We appreciate that this will be a difficult time. It will be a trying time, but we need to ensure that we do all in our powers to minimize the presence of persons on our roadways or in public spaces during this time. While and when the storm passes over Grenada, even if your property is damaged, we are going to encourage you to find as much as is possible some safe haven within the spot that you are, whether it's your home, whether it's in a shelter, and remain there until NADMA gives the all clear. Particularly at night, it is not sensible to attempt to move during the hurricane. We should also indicate that when the eye is passing over, you may have a temporary period of calm, but it is likely that the winds and the rain will pick up again, and you may be caught if you attempt to move from one place or the other during the period of the hurricane. So we are going to urge you, as of tonight, to remain where you are until the hurricane passes and until NADMA gives the all clear. We will continue to provide you with updates. We expect that Grenada will begin to feel the effect of the hurricane certainly in the late night, early hours of the morning, and as been predicted, we expect that to happen for the remainder of the morning and for large parts of the day tomorrow. We will continue to provide you with timely updates, especially after briefings from the National Hurricane Center and after briefings from the Met Office and from NADMA. We urge you to use this time to spend some time with your loved ones, to appreciate them, to share with them, to play and pray with them, and to continue our preparations. Be mindful of the fact that there are sectors of our society that are vulnerable, as we already have reports that significant enough numbers of our citizens have heeded our advice and have moved into the shelters that are open. The team here at NADMA will do everything to support our district coordinators and deputy district coordinators and other volunteers who provide support to our shelters. I want to urge us all again to make sure we take as much precautions as necessary. A reminder that Nawasa will be turning off the water at 9 p.m. tonight, so you may have another hour and a half to fill up with anything that you can with water so that you have adequate supply, and at this time water is obviously quite essential. I will repeat that the electricity will remain on as long as it is safe to do so, so there is no plans to turn off the electricity unless it becomes dangerous to keep it on. Thank you very much, Press Secretary.